This episode of Crazy Ken's Tech Misadventures is sponsored by Linode. This is a Mac Mini. This is an Apple TV. Is it possible to get the desktop operating system macOS 10 that's on this Mac Mini to be installed on this Apple TV? Let's find out. Hey guys, how are you all doing? Really? That's just great. You know, I'm doing pretty great today too because there's someone very special in my life here. My stylist. I finally got a haircut after all this time. The pandemic dude, I didn't get a haircut for like 4 months, so now my hair is shorter again, and to all the people who said my head is round, this is now proof. It's not round. It's gourd-shaped. Oh, I'm also here with Brainiac Brent.
Hello.
So, Brainiac Brent wanted to help out with the project. What do you got there?
So we have the first generation Apple TV here, and what has come to my attention is that this is based on the Core M Intel processor.
Right.
Therefore,
macOS 10.
get an Intel version of Tiger on here, and you have a full desktop version operating system running on an Apple TV.
So it's a Core M, and it's a hard disk, mechanical, so it may not be that fast.
What do you think the most intensive app this thing will be able to run is?
Mail. So here's the plan, and normally this is where I would like to put up a big graphical fun presentation for you, but we've spent all of that money on our other show, Crazy Ken's Tech Talk, which means we've only had enough graphical budget left to do this. Yeah, that's not very good. So I used a whiteboard. Go ahead, Brent, pass me the whiteboard.
Here we are.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Apple TV, which is right here. We're gonna take the PATA hard drive. It's not SATA, it's a PATA hard drive. Out of it, we're gonna put it in this enclosure, which basically turns it into an external USB drive, right? And we're gonna plug that into an iMac, and with the iMac, we're gonna install macOS 10.4 Tiger, and we have to do a few other things too. We have to put a new boot EFI file on there, a mock kernel file, and we have to remove some kex and some other chiz. So what we're also gonna do is we're gonna make a backup of the drive that's in here, just so we can restore the Apple TV system later. And it seems pretty simple. It should work. Go ahead and send that back.
Yeah, there's less steps, so there's less points for it to break, but
We just jinxed it.
nothing ever goes right here,
No.
so...
And no, not at all. And a great example of that would be the SSD episode we just released recently. So, what do you say? You want to get started?
Yes.
I don't. All right, so the Apple TV is prepped for surgery. And by the way, thank you, Brainiac Brent, for busting out your Amazon Prime subscription to rush ship this Xeno to us.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, I just want to remind you, the Computer Clan is an Amazon associate, so anything you buy from any of our lists or anything on Amazon at all, if you buy it through our link, you actually support the Computer Clan channel as well. So if you want to do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Have fun. All right, go ahead and bust out your torque. Yeah, we had to kind of peel this back. It's all glued on here. Let's go ahead and examine some of this damage here. So, yep.
Ooh.
I mean, it's been sitting and doing nothing for a while. I mean, there could be a bit of dry rotting happening too, honestly.
Yeah, it's even nastier as we go to this corner, because there's all that, and then
Oh, that's delicious.
a second one there.
That's delicious. Go ham on that one.
I wouldn't fry that on a processor.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
We're gonna lift up, and we're gonna be careful not to lift up too much, because there's the drive attached to this panel here, and a cable attached to a panel.
Yep, so there's the PATA ribbon cable.
So we have a Fujitsu Apple branded drive. They put the screws on the underside of this.
Oh yeah, more rubber and glue in the way.
Yeah. So...
All right, so now we busted out one of the, I don't know if this is called a spudger, but it's a pointy thing.
Metal scribe? I have no idea. And we're good.
All right,
So
now
that
this
should probably just fall out. No, it's still in there a little bit.
Okay, so I started prying it, and I heard like a sticky sound, and adhesive something. It's not like a typical glue. It looks like a... It does look like a strip of gum. Let's eat it. No. I will remove the PATA cable. And now we're going to bust out our Xeno.
Registered trademark.
Registered trademark. All right.
careful because there is like a 4-pin that's kind of like a little further away from the connector, but it looks like things will line up fine.
The board's supposed to bend up like that, and then down.
It does a little bit, yeah.
That looks pretty good to me.
We won't be able to close it with that in the way, I don't think, but I don't think we need to.
Good point.
Well, it's not like we need to.
Yeah.
That's if we want to...
Let's just leave that open then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if you want to like put it in your pocket and walk around the quad like, yo peeps, I got a peta in my pocket and So we have the USB connected, bus powered. So now the next step, plug it into the iMac, right?
First things first, backup, but...
Oh, well, yes, plug it into the iMac and make a backup.
And make a backup, yep.
All right, let's do it. We have this amazing 2007 iMac here with us, so thank you, Ian, for donating this to the show. And this is what we're going to use to do all the magic. So, here we have the enclosure. Brent, you're closer to the port, so go ahead and...
Aren't you?
No, they're on your side.
No, this is the power button.
Oh, wait a minute. What am I...
They're there.
Wow, that's embarrassing. That's really... I'm going to turn in my non-existent Apple certification right now.
Don't worry about it. I planned ahead just a little bit.
I'm seriously concerned.
What, that you thought the ports were over here?
Yeah, I was thinking of the G5 where the ports are by the power button and the power button's over there.
Oh, they go this way.
Yeah, but even on the G5 they're on this side, but so was the power button. Okay, we're going to forget that ever happened.
Huh.
I have never browsed this before. This is interesting. So this is basically how the Apple TV system is all set up here.
Yeah, there's a very small partition just for booting the operating system, holding system stuff, and then this is where it actually stores the media.
They call the user front row. Because that's the name of the feature in macOS that gives you that interface that the Apple TV uses.
Yep.
That is so cool. I never knew that. But yeah, here we go. Woo. This is what the Apple TV basically looks like. It's the same interface, basically. So, okay, that is really neat.
How did you launch that?
Command Escape.
Really?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to launch terminal. So it is dev disk 1. From there, I need to run a dd command. .image. Wait, I got to give a file name.
Just TV.
tv.image.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give it a block size of 1024K because why not? And cross our fingers. That's a good sign.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Now we just gotta basically wait for it to copy probably a couple gigs into it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, DD doesn't give you any feedback in the terminal.
Could you have done a -V flag to get a verbose?
Probably.
Maybe.
I'm very unfamiliar with DD, but luckily
we can
this
watch
is,
it here. Yeah,
this is working.
Thanks to Quick Look. So yeah, now we basically just wait a little bit. Okay, so we've been here for about a little over an hour. We're at 37.9 gigs. Hey Brent, guess what? I'm really happy this isn't the 120 gigabyte version of the Apple TV. Okay, so 40 gigs. Hopefully it's done soon. And hey, look at that. Oh, it told us how long it took. So now you know how long we were waiting.
And how fast the interface is. What is that? 7 megabytes a second?
Wow. Wow. That is freaking slow.
So now, do you have your Tiger installation media?
No. I should go get that.
Now we are at a standstill.
Well, you know, you've been waiting a long time. When the computer gets so bored, it asks you about an Adobe update. So...
But we have the install for Tiger, and the website that we're reading from says we specifically need 10.4.8, and conveniently enough, that is exactly the version on this disk.
Fantastic. This is the disk that came with my first iMac that I got.
Nice.
Pop it in?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
You know that we're not installing it onto this computer,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't. It's not smart enough to know that. So there's probably a way we can get around that. That's yeah. It was probably trying to automate something, and it was like, nah, you can't do that. It's too new. We're gonna try to trick it a little bit. Hang on a second.
I don't think
it's
needs to be modified before it can run.
I really don't think it's gonna run at all. the Apple TV operating system, but it shows up as a bootable option.
There's 2 of them, so we can try both.
Well, I'm just curious. I want to try. It's probably just going to give us like a verbose console. Whoa!
Whoa! Hello.
I was not expecting that. I would be surprised if it actually boots up, but I'm.
Oh my.
Reboot.
Yeah, I heard the fans kick down.
Yep. We got the logo though.
Try the EFI one just to see what happens.
I was not.
That freaked me out. You should not see that logo on this device.
I'm surprised it even got that far. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll try the other device.
Looks so glorious. I want that on a regular Mac OS install now.
Now you could do that with a boot exchanger. Yeah, on older systems you could. There was a little utility that just modified the. I don't know where the images were stored at the time. Probably they're currently in the EFI file, but yeah. So boot exchanger. Yeah, it's gonna do the same thing, I think. That's still pretty cool, though.
I love that so much.
It's
reminds me of early iPod Touches.
Yeah, the old iOS boot up had that. I'm gonna do it in verbose mode just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Just to see
where it's stopping.
Yeah. Okay, EFI loaded from device, looking for a kernel cache file, mock-kernel.prelink. It probably can't find that for... Oh, hang on. Oh, I couldn't even read that, but we'll have to check the playback. We'll pull the tapes. In the meantime, we're going to throw this into the CD installer, which is going to take... Or DVD installer, which is going to take about 5 minutes anyway. So, hey, we have something to do during the downtime. Yay! So, we're about loaded in the installer. We pulled the tapes, and yes, it did... basically just kernel panic and auto reboot. Anyway, now that the curiosity is out of the way, we can actually get back to doing the thing that will work.
Hopefully.
Oh no, don't do this!
Is it still gonna... So, is this where we break out another Mac?
Boom! The cool thing about having a Mac collection is you just have shit when you need it. We need to format... We could probably do it from the installer, but we could just do it from disk screwtility, as Ada Blasi calls it. We're gonna partition it. And we're done. Alright, so we're gonna back out. And we're going to customize this, and we don't need all of this bundled stuff. CPU help files, I don't even know what the...
Actually, what is in here?
I mean,
because there actually might be some fun stuff to have on here, too.
You get, like, iPhoto, and you can, like, do iLife applications. Well, let's uncheck fonts and language translations. We don't need this, that. I don't know, let's keep iPhoto just to have one iLife app on there. The software I'm too lazy. I'm just kidding. We have this
right
too.
there.
I know. It's way over here. Okay.
I will get it for you.
I don't think you need to do that.
I will get in my car and drive it
2
right
feet
back
over
here.
You better cooperate. I'm going to turn this installation sensation around.
Turns the iMac around.
Okay, this is probably gonna be about 20 to 30 minutes, but also it is a pay to drive, so it actually might be longer. I'm scared. But before we continue, let's take a quick second to talk about Linode. No matter what skill level you're at, or what technology stack you use, Linode makes it easy to give your creations their own personal space on the internet. If you just need something small, like a simple website, game server, or personal VPN, Linode has you covered. If you need to manage tons of websites and reliably serve them to millions of visitors, well, guess what? Linode can do that too. Unlike entry-level hosting services that lock you into their platform, Linode gives you full back-end access to customize and control your server to fit your needs. Their DNS manager allows you to easily switch your domain to your new server, and SSL certificates can be installed for free using open-source tools. And here's another cool thing. If you run into any problems getting set up, Linode comes with amazing 24/7 customer support by phone or ticket, along with hundreds of docs to help get you started. And because you're here, and because we're all best friends, you amazing Computer Clan viewers get a free $20 credit on a new Linode account. You can sign up with the link in the description. Alright, now back to the Mac. Alright, so we're shifting to disk 2. The slot is there. And, yep, and this will probably install iPhoto, and Front Row, I think, is on here too. Software installation is done. Cube transition.
Yes.
Okay, so now... And Brent, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. We got to set the startup disk back to the internal drive, so then we can actually access the kernel file and all that crap we need to futz with. Brent copied the boot EFI and the mock kernel files from the Apple TV system software, or OS, whatever you want to call it.
And there's also a kext for the Ethernet on there as well.
That is true. So, plug her in. On the Apple TV hard drive now, which is running Mac OS 10, we just go to System, Library, Core Services. That's where this stuff is hiding. So here's the boot EFI file, which has a lock icon on it, which we could probably override with some sort of terminal stuff, but let's just try it without it. Okay, can't do that. Can we just ignore ownership?
Wait,
Yep.
locked. So, intense security.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have permission to do this, so replace the file. Okay.
Cool.
I forgot there's a checkbox that literally says lock. Okay. So now here's the mock kernel. I think back a few directories.
It's in the root of the drive.
I was gonna say, yep, it's in the root. So we're gonna need to do some sneaky shit. All right. Sudo defaults right. Is that 2 words?
No, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
com.apple.finder apple show all files true.
So, I mean, even if it was sudo, it should still do it.
I used to be able to do this just fine, but lately I feel... Oh, there you go. Whoa. I guess you don't need to run as sudo. Yeah, you're right. There we go. So now the mock should just show up right here. Look at that. All right, so we're going to try to do a move. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work, but because it's invisible, we can't do it in the Finder super easily. So I'm going to do a move of this over this, and it should prompt an overwrite. Or it just does it. Wrong. This was 613. Oh, it refreshed. There we go. The window just didn't refresh, so the file moved into here.
Okay.
Yeah, and overwrote it. So we're good.
I want that file back.
Oh, well, we can get it later.
Okay.
In the nether, where we just sent it to.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to lose the file in its place.
Now let's go back and get that Ethernet kext. This mouse really needs a mouse pad. We're going to put this kext in here. And we need to delete a few NVIDIA kexts, I believe.
5 of them.
Okay, which ones are they? All right, so then we'll just throw these in the trash. And we will empty the trash. Okay, so we replaced the mock, boot EFI, we added the Ethernet kext, we deleted the NVIDIA kexts. I think that's it.
Run bless.
Oh, right, we got to bless it. Do you want to drive for this part?
Yes.
Okay, Blunt
is gonna...
Brent is gonna bless the hard drive. So, I have actually never used the bless command before, but is it basically just telling the startup disk to look for a new EFI file? Or how does that work?
I don't know what bless does.
Cool! I'm gonna man this. Man bless. Bless set volume bootability. All right, well, we got that figured out. Yep, and just press return. Boom. Okay,
all right.
We are blessed. Now we just have to reconnect the PATA drive to the Apple TV.
And it
should boot. Should boot. All right, so we have the cinema display hooked up with a DVI to HDMI adapter with the HDMI plugged into the Apple TV. The hard drive is back in, and yeah, there's no power switch, so we basically just plug in the power cord and go. If this works, it should boot into OS 10, and we do have a keyboard and mouse hooked up through the USB port as well. So, Brainiac Brent, since this is kind of your pet project, did you want to plug it in?
I would love to do the honors.
All right, do the honors. Plug that boy in. All right. So, we got the amber light. Hard drive is spinning. And let's see if this works. The light went off, so it detected a signal. Oh. That's usually what that means. Ooh. Dude, okay. Let's not get too excited yet, but that's a good first step.
I wonder if the status indicator is going to change.
That'd be interesting.
Is it just me, or is that pinwheel a tad slower than it's supposed to be?
It does look a little slower. Oh, dude. Starting OS 10.
That's a good sign. We're in.
Okay, hang on. Let's wait until everything loads.
Menu
bar
dock,
and everything.
And icons. There's our dock.
Oh my gosh. You should be the first one to touch the cursor, not me. Hey, mouse support works. Can I adjust the keyboard at least? It's loading. See, we knew it was going to be kind of sluggish, but it's running freaking Mac OS 10 on an Apple TV. We basically just made our own, like, slow Mac Mini.
Even the beach ball is slow.
Oh my gosh, this is great. There you go, guys.
It's restoring our Windows.
Go check the About This Mac.
Oh, yeah.
1 gigahertz unknown. It doesn't know it's a Core M. It was never made to run on a Core M. Okay, so we can run some updates here and see if that helps with anything. My hopes are a little low, but we'll just do it anyhow. Okay, so let's, while that's going in the background, let's test the speed of this thing. Let's launch iPhoto while it's doing a software
the
update.
bouncing isn't even smooth.
That's interesting.
And that's a quartz animation. Those are the smoothest. Those are the easiest
Typically.
to do.
But it's weird that the animations are, like, even slow.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's really interesting there. But, like, window movement, once it works. Oh, that's choppy as hell now. It was smooth in the... Like, that's... Okay, that's nice. That's nice. But
I've never seen that kind of repainting. That's a Windows pre-Aero.
All right, so we're going to do a restart. I guess we could actually do a shutdown. So, you know, frozen progress bar on shutdown. We're shutting down and installing some software updates. It's just kind of stuck here, but does it know how to shut down? The hard drive isn't making any activity.
It might be trying to switch to a sleep mode that's not supported by this hardware.
Yeah, because there is no power button either. It's, like you said earlier, it's off the record, Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
You got to pull the power cord. But you can still shut down a Pi.
You can still shut down a Pi. Like, it will... It doesn't really turn, like, the status light off. You'll at least get a signal gone from your display.
I think it is, like, as far as it can go. Next time we should verbose it to see what it gets to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure we just have to...
I'm pretty sure it's trying to set it to, like, a P5 or whatever state, and that's just not supported.
Well, I know how to do this. I can't possibly screw this up. I can't possibly screw this up. Hey, it worked! Okay, so Brent's going back to track down some files again, because when we ran those software updates, it's possible that the mock kernel file and maybe even the boot EFI were changed back to the normal ones, and now this system can't boot up. I've actually never even seen that screen before. I didn't know it existed. So, we're going to get those files back, replace them, and try to boot up again. Also, it could just be me, but it looks like the amber light blinks at a different rate when this issue is happening. It's almost like it's calling out for help or something. I thought that was interesting. Okay, so Brent found out the NVIDIA CEX also reloaded onto the system, so even if we were able to boot the system, we might have had some issues with that. So you re-blessed the thing, you put the mock kernel on there, the EFI, blessed it, and should be good to go. Do you want to plug her in?
Yes.
All right, go nuts, because we don't have a power switch on this thing.
Also need to move the keyboard and mouse back over.
Oh yeah, we had the keyboard plugged into the iMac so we could do the maintenance. Here we go. Hey! There you go. I forgot to verbose it because I wanted to check something, but
Is it late for that?
it might be too late for that. So, what we're going to do next is I'm going to put some sample files on here. I have some photos and some videos that I just want to test the performance of the system with. Okay, so I use Safari to download my stuff folder from my web server. I have some pictures and some video. I just want to test playback performance here. So let's start with a 720p QuickTime movie, H.264. It's a trimmed excerpt of one of our other episodes. This is the iMac episode from Crazy Ken's Tech Talk. And let's see. Oh, yeah, we're getting about like 10 frames a second, probably less. Yep, 10, 11.37. It's cool how all the metadata is still readable here.
Does closing that window help us any?
It might help a little. Oh, look at that cross.
Yeah. On a less intense thing like this, it's doing a little better. But, ooh.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just notice it less because his low motion.
It's chugging. Let's try scrubbing.
Oh. I hear the disc going high-pitched now.
Yeah, that disc is like, end my pain, you assholes.
And this is 720p.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to open the 1080p one, but we're going to do it anyway. Oh, crap.
It's larger than the monitor.
There we go.
It cannot keep up at all.
Can't do crap. Okay, so video playback with Mac OS X on the Apple TV, probably not the greatest. Now, if you use the Apple TV normally, it can play video pretty decently, so...
When it doesn't have the overhead of Mac OS, yes.
Yes, there's a lot of extra overhead we're introducing into the poor computer. So now let's just try a basic task like what you would do with your iLife applications, importing photos. So I'm going to drag some photos onto iPhoto, and I'm going to, as Microsoft people say, drag and drap onto the photo icon there, and see if it can handle a task like this. Okay, it took a couple minutes to do the 19 photos, but it's persevering, so let's go ahead and attempt to zoom these thumbnails in. Oh, that was actually kind of quick.
By this computer's standards.
By this computer's standards, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it works. Here's one of the new wallpapers we made recently. Let's double click, let it load. Oh. And we should be able to set this as our wallpaper from here, at least I think.
Share desktop?
Maybe that just exports it to the desktop.
Yeah.
But maybe it actually sets it as the desktop. That would be great. Oh, that's a squeal. Oh, no,
there
shit.
It
there it is. That's a squealy hard drive. There we go. We got a sexy new wallpaper.
Minimize that. I want to see the genie effect.
Oh, yeah. Should I do it in slow-mo? To see if you can do it?
Sure.
Decently? Oh!
The hard drive is squealing.
Oh, man.
Oh, it smoothed out once it got towards the bottom, though.
It did smooth. Yep, that's not too bad. We're getting like a little bit of tearing, to no big surprise, but wow.
Overall, that's acceptable.
Let's listen to that again. Dude,
that's interesting that it affects the hard drive that way, trying to...
Bizarre. I'm sure someone watching can explain that to us. Okay, so now we're going to attempt to reboot it into verbose mode so we can determine what's happening with shutdown, because it seems to be getting stuck on shutdown. It's rebooting. I have Command V down on the keyboard. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to interpret. Oops, got some extra V's in there. I held the keys too long, but hey, there we go. We are booting into verbose mode. Well, let's try a shutdown and see if it gets stuck this time, like it did earlier. And if it does get stuck, we should at least be able to interpret where it's getting stuck. CPU halted, and that's what I'm thinking.
It's trying to put it into a power state that this device doesn't support.
Yeah. You can't shut it down. You can reboot it, but to shut it down, you just gotta pull the power.
Well, I mean, you can still software shut it down to appropriately end your session, but from there, the device won't power
True.
off.
This is basically saying it is now safe to turn off your computer.
Exactly. Like a computer that doesn't support ACPI, if I have those letters in the correct order. APCI, I think.
So what do you think, guys? That's how you take your first generation Apple TV and basically turn it into a Mac Mini, just a slow Mac Mini.
Slow, but still very functional, and I'm grateful that we ran into very few snags and it booted first try.
I was not expecting it to be quote-unquote that easy. Future things we could do, we can maybe get a newer version of Mac OS X on here, maybe hook it up to a sound system, so we might do a follow-up episode. Could be.
I do have an adapter for SPDIF to 3.5mm, and then I can supply some PC speakers and try that out.
Totally. So, thank you, Brainiac Brent, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're a genius. And thank you guys for following along with us. Catch the crazy and pass it on.